Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is just the first impressions of the STC Optic FOGRIP for OM system OM-1. And I bought this because there are very few aftermarket accessories for the OM-1, and this was one of them that kind of filled the needs that I was looking for. And I have it mounted on my OM-1 here with a large lens just to demonstrate what it's for. And what it is it's this entire base plate here, all metal. And what it allows you to do is, one, it gives you an Arca Swiss mounting plate, and the base itself is kind of cut exactly to the shape of the OM-1's bottom section. And you have to note that the OM-1 has a different bottom section shape or silhouette or whatever you want to call it to the EM-1 and the EM-1 Mk2. I think the Mk2 and the Mk3 are quite similar, but don't quote me on that. But once you go to the OM-1, the shape has changed a little bit, so you can't really use the older base plates on the OM-1. Some of them are like almost there, but apparently there's some fitment issue. So anyway, this is one of the few manufacturers that have an OM-1 specific base plate. There was another one, I think it was Small Rig, that had a cage that went around the lens mount and kind of allowed you to mount like handles and stuff, but I didn't really need that. What I needed was an Arca Swiss base plate. Well, I say needed, what I wanted was an Arca Swiss mounting plate that fit the OM-1 perfectly. And this had the added benefit of, if I want to mount a larger lens like this one, I can just flip out this little extension here, and then I have a lot of support that helps me balance out the lens, and then I can shoot one-handed with added stability. And it really does work. I'm quite surprised. There's not a lot of information on this product, and it's a Taiwanese product, and they're not doing a very good job of marketing it for OM-1 users. I mean, OM-1 users are quite rare because this camera is kind of a sales flop, I would say. So if you're looking for a specific accessory for OM-1, this one is quite interesting. And I'll probably do a more in-depth review once I have some field experience with this. But as of right now, I don't have any field experience. I only have my first impressions to talk about. There's good and there's bad. Let's get the bad out of the way. The bad is the pricing and the shipping costs, because I live in Malaysia and Taiwan is actually not that far off, and there's a lot of trade happening between Taiwan and Malaysia, be it NVIDIA chips or AMD chips. I mean, we do a lot of packaging here not here, not like my house, but like in Malaysia we do semiconductor packaging for AMD and Intel. So like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shipping routes that are established between these two countries, right? But it costs 100 ringgit, which is a quarter of the price of this product, to have it shipped from Taiwan here. So I was just like, why don't they just like use one of the many established commercial platforms to facilitate shipping? But it's not a unique problem to this manufacturer, but I find like a lot of things shipping from Taiwan is, unless they work with Shopee or Lazada, shipping can be very expensive. And this is one of the manufacturers that just decided it was not worth it for them to work with a commercial partner. So I had no choice. I mean, I could have just not bought the product, which is probably the more sensible choice, but I really wanted the product. So shipping, I was not happy with that. And also, just communication with the manufacturer was bad, because they have a little contact form that you can use to fill out and get information about the product. And I contacted them and I didn't hear anything from them. So it was a bit unclear to me at a certain point whether or not these guys were still active. I did see some new products come onto the shop. Maybe English is not their first language, so they were uncomfortable replying. But my suspicion is that they just don't actively monitor the customer support side. So yeah, I couldn't get a response from them. So I just, after a couple of months of waiting, and when I decided I was going to stick with the OM-1, I was like, I do want an accessory for this camera, and no one else is making one. So I thought I'd go with it. So that was the first negative, not a lot of customer support. The second negative was also the interface of their shop. Even though they do take credit cards, it was not very, the tracking was not straightforward. So they gave me a tracking number and a website. I think it was like the Taiwanese shipper, and the tracking number did not work. So I didn't have any idea when this thing would arrive. They said it would take like less than 2 weeks, and we were coming on to 2 weeks already, and just not seeing an update on that tracking website, maybe a bit nervous. But yeah, it came in just at the end of that delivery window. But again, I could not track this order at all, and I was thinking of like filling out that tracking form, I mean that feedback form, the customer support form again, to get a reply. But you know, from my first experience, I thought, you know what, it's not going to be worth it. I would have done it if we had exited that 2-week window, but we didn't. So negative so far is customer support for this company, STC Optic, is very poor. And also the delivery charges are a bit expensive, very expensive. The cost of the grip itself, I think it's reasonable, considering the fact that they actually custom designed this, and they actually show you their R&D work to get the design, not to say perfect, but to get the design to a place where they're comfortable to sell the product. They experimented with a few different designs, like a magnetic fold-away mechanism, a few other different iterations before they finally landed on this version of the grip. And they're also working with, I think this company, Mano, I don't know how you pronounce it. Apparently these guys, if I'm not mistaken, they do airsoft guns. In Taiwan, it's a big thing. They manufacture airsoft guns there. And you kind of get that feel, that metallic feel, the very precise engineering of this base plate. You get that feel of, oh, these guys know how to make a product feel high quality and precise in the fittings. Yeah, so that was cool. So to charge $100 for a product that is completely unique in the market, and that they have pretty much a monopoly over, because I don't find any other OM-1 grips at all, let alone ones that have a fold-out extension. So yeah, the fact that they have the monopoly and they're still only charging $100, I think the product price itself is justified, just the shipping price was not justified. So those are the negatives. There's another negative, I suppose. I mean, the packaging, simple cardboard box. A lot of Taiwanese manufacturers, I realize, they make really good products, but the packaging just feels so ancient, not to say ancient. Like there's another, that's a fountain pen manufacturer called Twisby, I think. I'm not really big into fountain pens, but when I was like kind of dabbling in it, I looked into Twisby, and they make like excellent world-class quality fountain pens, but the packaging just feels so bare bones, feels very 1990s. And the same with this, you know, it's just a simple box with a simple printout sleeve, and it was perfectly well packaged, like enough foam and stuff to keep it from being crushed, but it just doesn't feel premium, even though the product itself feels premium. But I guess packaging is just a very minor thing, just not what you expect in you know, today's world. Like when you get a DJI mic and they give you like a cover like this, a case like this, and the box that it comes with feels really good, that's what you expect in the year 2025. But this is what you would expect from, you know, the 2010s or the 2000s. You're still getting that from Taiwanese products. Not a big complaint. I think the bigger complaint is some of the build quality aspects of this. I'm not going to take it out and show you right now because they don't have a coin on my person to remove this. A couple of things that worry me were, like, there's a little piece of rubber here. Let me see if I can manual focus it. There you go. So there's a piece of rubber right around here that doesn't perfectly fit and kind of sticks out the side a little bit. And when I removed the grip earlier, the thing kind of just fell out, and I'm just like, it's propped up now. So because there's a tight squeeze between the camera body and the grip, it's in place. It just doesn't look great. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what I expect, but I was not expecting that. I would have thought that the rubber that goes on the base plate would have been better secured, but not the case, I suppose. There's also a little bit of a weird fitment issue, because like a lot of it lines up, but not perfectly. Like, you know, you have that little hole in the grip for the battery grip to be perfectly aligned. This base plate here doesn't have a little thing that sticks out and goes into that hole. So you never really know if you're perfectly aligned until you screw it in and make sure the lines are all like parallel. Then you're like, oh, okay, it fits. So it does fit, but they didn't go all out to make it fit really, really perfectly in ways that I think they could have. Besides that, also having a little portion here of metal sticking out beyond your little finger here, I thought that would be a massive problem. Like, it would make the camera uncomfortable to hold. Just from my first day of use, I don't really feel that yet. because this grip has always been a little bit too small for me anyway, so usually what happens is my pinky kind of dangles anyway. So having it out here just encourages me to flip it out if I'm using a larger lens. Right now I'm using it without the thing extended. It does feel a bit awkward, but this lens is huge, so it would have been a two-handed operation anyway. Once I flip this out, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't bite into my finger at all. I thought it would be a bigger issue just looking at how sharp that angle is. It's perfectly okay so far, but I'll update you if I do a full review. Besides that, on smaller lenses, I think it's fine, but I will report back when I do my full review. So part of the reason why I bought this mainly was once I started going on more hikes. Right now it's rainy season, so not a lot of hikes. I want to have something that just has an Arca Swiss base plate, so I can just clip it on my backpack or something. And also, I want something that helps me, carry around bigger lenses. Like this is a 70-300 4/3 lens, and I have a couple of 4/3 lenses that I still want to have around. This hood. Yeah, so I still want to have those 4/3 lenses around because they're dirt cheap. Like having a 70-300, which is a 140-600mm lens equivalent. Having that for 200 ringgit, which is like $50 US, and it's lightweight, so it's still kind of in the spirit of 4/3. Yeah, with this grip, it's kind of a lightweight birding setup. And yes, I might sell this in the future, but if I sell this, I'm going to try and get that 100-400mm Olympus lens or the Panasonic Leica. I haven't decided. Most likely the Olympus lens because I want to have that dual IS going on. But if not, also I want to try out that 50-200 4/3 lens. I do have a copy, a broken copy of that lens with me, which I got for dirt cheap as well. I want to see if I can fix it, but I doubt I can. I did try it out. It's a bit too heavy, even with this grip extension. But my dad has a copy that is in good condition, so if he does lend it to me one day, I do want to try it out with this OM-1 and see what I can get. But yeah, with this 70-300, it's quite an excellent setup and perfectly balanced. Don't have to mount it on a tripod. Just taking a few test shots, I can kind of balance it on my face, and yeah, you'll see. But it does make it a lot easier to carry around big lenses. So that's the first half of this video, basically talking about an overview of this STC Optics product. Taiwanese company, nice build quality, brass fittings, the latches and stuff all feel very high quality. The mechanism is simple, just locks into place and doesn't fall back in. As long as you push this in properly, it doesn't fall back in. On top of that, the last thing I should mention is that it has like a little hook at the back here. I don't have a memory card on this right now. It has a little hole here at the back, and the point of this is, and also it has mounting points here for you to put an L bracket, which I don't want to do. But what you can do with this rear mounting point and this part here is you can mount your neck strap to this camera, so that if you're carrying it around, it dangles lens downward. If you have the straps, if you use the original lugs, which are on the side here and here, then the lens kind of protrudes out of your chest like this, and might not be super comfortable swinging it around. Whereas if you have it downwards like this, it might be a bit safer. I might have hit my mic there just now. Part of the reason why I got this also was because this is my main work lens for my main YouTube channel, Autofiles Malaysia. And when we do our walk around videos, this is the lens that we use, and this is the camera that we use to shoot. And it's not a big deal. Like, Bo hasn't complained because he's the one using the camera. But this lens is a little bit heavy. This combo is a little bit large. I do have a smaller combo that we can use. But once this is set up, I think taking this thing out like this would make it a lot easier, a lot more stable for him to grip, having the additional support. So I think it'll be useful for work as well. That's the second reason why I got this little bracket thing. I almost forgot to mention that there's a grip. Actually, once this thing is unfolded, you have access to the battery compartment. So flip that out this way, and you can actually remove and replace the battery. It's really thoughtfully designed, I have to say. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.